Hey guys, how are you today? It's Saturday. I just did another video this morning and I said that I was going to be doing our soap, and that's what we're going to be doing. Um, I'm going to, I think, maybe make two different videos. And the first video I'm going to do is just going to be our plain lard soap. And the only ingredients in that is the lard, the lye, and water. And though that is the soap that I use in all my cleaning supplies, but you can also use that basic soap for cleaning your body. If we run out of soap, we grab that. It's no big deal. It does not smell like pig fat. It does not smell like lard. It's a lard based soap. That's how all the soap was made before, would have been with lard. And so we do that for our basic soap. If times got tough, I would not be buying any other oils. I would only be doing lard soap. I want everyone in my family eventually to know how to make a basic lard soap. There's a couple people that really help me out all the time with the lard soap, but I also want this to be available for other people to watch. My son is married, and I took his beautiful wife, and we made soap one day, and that was really fun. But I want it to be a reference to for any of my children as they get older, if they're not using it as a skill all the time, to be able to come back and be like, oh yeah, we did that, and this is how we did it. So in another video, we will be doing a mixed fat soap using our goat's milk. So that will be our goat's milk soap. And there's tips and tricks in that on how not to burn your soap. And that will be next, but we're going to do the lard soap first. I'm trying to think because there's different things that go in with making soap as well. So probably tomorrow afternoon or Monday morning, I'm going to be doing a how to make your own lard video. So follow us for that because I have a bunch of lard. I just slaughtered the pig yesterday, and we have all the fat off that. I didn't want to start it today because tomorrow is Sunday and that's a church day, and I don't want it in the crock pot all day while we're at church. So stay tuned, and either tomorrow night or Monday morning, I'll be turning that on and show you guys how to make that, and then you'll have all the ingredients on how to make what we're going to do. We're going to experiment this winter on trying to make lye out of wood ash. We do not do that at this point. We buy sodium hydroxide from off of Amazon. You can also get Emergency Essentials, I believe, has it. There's a couple companies that you can use to buy this, but we use food grade sodium hydroxide. Remember, whenever you're doing lye, to protect yourself as safely as you can. I wear glasses, so I don't wear any protective eyewear. I do wear gloves. If it does hit my skin, then I take care of that. My children know how to take care of that. We keep little kids out of their room while we're doing lye because it can be toxic, or we keep them contained in a stroller or in a seat or something like that. So when I do my lard, I tend to use just this is an old peanut butter jar. You don't actually have to can lard, although it seals. So you don't actually have to can it. So this is the beautiful lard that came from our pigs. It doesn't smell piggy. A lot of times if you get like commercial lard, if you smell it, it smells really piggy. And we've actually bought, sometimes we'll buy lard or we'll buy fat back from our butcher. And sometimes we have broken that down and made that into lard. And it smelled kind of funky, but then the end result didn't smell that way. So we should be good with that. So this is our lard, and my daughter is getting some other things together, and I'll be back and we'll show you how it works. Okay, we're still trying to pull it together. So I got my scale out. It's red. I love red. I don't know. Red makes me happy. My son, who passed away, he made me this cup, and I thought I'd show it to you guys. He wrote "the best mom ever," and it was just so sweet. Like, he was so quiet, and he didn't really say too many things. The really cool thing is this lighthouse we've been to quite a few times. It's the easternmost point in the United States. It's West Coody Lighthouse, and we don't live all that far from it. It's a beautiful lighthouse, and he actually drew that picture. He painted that, and then he put it on a mug for me. I don't know. It's just so special. He did such a great job with it. Actually, we have people that we go to church with and our friends. They're actually keepers of that light. So it's really kind of cool. It's just, I don't know. It's really neat to the way that it kind of just came full circle and whatever. I don't know. Kind of cool. Okay. So what we're going to do, we got our scale out. We're going to chug our coffee because we need that energy. Okay, we got our scale out, and then I'm just going to put the bowl on, and we will tear it out. We will tear it out. There we go. So it should say 0, 0. And we need 40 ounces of lard. So make sure your scale is on the ounce button, or that you're calculating in your head from pounds and ounces. Scoop one out. So one is 13.5. So we might actually need 3 jars. I think it's so beautiful to create things that like you completely created. Like we made this lard. Well, you didn't make it because a pig was involved, but like you butchered that animal, you processed that animal, and then you have this beautiful lard which you can cook with and make soap with and clean your body with. Like that's just incredible. Like I don't know, it's so cool to me that we can do that. And the jar doesn't want to open. Okay, so I'm at 30 ounces here. Let's see. $35, maybe the whole one. Yeah, I don't like that little funk in there. Sometimes there's a little bit of like sediment stuff at the bottom if you home can lard. I probably didn't strain it really well. And that was 38.5, so we need just a little bit more. That's good. So we're at 40 now. Put that over there. So these are all, this is the only fat that we're using in this. We're not using a bunch of different fats. We're only using this fat. So I'm going to set this over to the side, and then I'm going to take my large glass measuring cup, and we're gonna do the water and the lye in that, and then I'll be adding the fat to that. Gotta grab gloves. Alrighty, so we are going to take our water. We have 13.5 ounces of water that we're going to put in. A lot of stuff you can get online, but you can also get a lot of things at like thrift stores or different containers. Make sure that you do not use aluminum pots. Do not use aluminum pots. If you do not know if it's aluminum or not, do not use aluminum pots. Ask me how I know. I used an aluminum pot and I smoked out my house. In the middle of winter, you would have seen me running out my front door with a massive pot that was smoking like it was on fire, running and dumping it into a snowbank. Do not use aluminum pots. That's my safety warning. Okay. So we got water in here. And then we're going to put our lye in. This is the open one. I like to, sometimes the powdered lye is kind of crunched up. So make sure if you're breaking it up, you're doing it with the cover on. It can be a little crunched up, but you want to make sure that it's going to like come out of the container. So I'll take this off for a minute. This, and tear this. And we're doing 5.4 ounces of this. Where are we at? I knew that.
5.8. $5.6. 5.5.
There we go. Folks, do not do this at home. Obviously, I'm wearing gloves. My hands are not wet yet. I'll clean up after myself. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So do you have a spoon? Oh, right now, I don't know why I'm doing it on top of here because the weight really doesn't matter now. So you're just going to take this. Yep, that's fine. I'm going to pour this in. You might see a little bit of smoke coming up because it's going to heat. See a little bit of smoke in there? So we're going to wait for that to kind of calm down a little bit while we stir. I don't know if this is how you're really supposed to do it, but this is how I do it all the time. I sell soap. There's no issues. I do it. Okay, now it looks more clear and not so cloudy. And most of the smoke has come down. And we are going to start putting our fats in. So give another spoon right now. You can just grab a regular one because that's just food. There's no... Start plopping in. Something floating around in here. Just gonna put that in. I have one of those jars over the other side. They look like some of the like forks. The lard didn't get strained. Just a little like black piece in there. I'm gonna hold it up and I'll scrape it out. So make sure that you're keeping utensils that you have for just utensils that you need. So your soap stuff should be soap stuff and your food stuff should be your food stuff. So we have a bunch of soap supplies that we keep in boxes, and it's just for our soap supplies. So all we're doing is mixing this down until it becomes creamy. And then what I'll do is I'll flip you around the other side because the electricity is over there. And we will use the Dasher blender. So in order to make laundry soap, I might do a video at some point. We usually make a 5-gallon tub every month. You just take a 5-gallon tote and you add half a cup of borax and half a cup of washing soda. And then in the kitchen, I would take and I would grate one of these bars of soap, and I'd grate that into about 4 cups of water and melt that together and dump that in with the borax and the washing soda. And then I would fill that whole tote with water, and that's it. It's simple, it's cheap, it's easy. Okay. You do not have to have a Dasher blender. It just makes it go a bit faster. So as you can see, it's nice and creamy here. I'm just going to move it, and my daughter's going to move the camera with it. I should have moved the table a little bit closer, but that's okay. Let's see. Take this. I'm going to put this into here for a minute. And I have a little bit of lumps on the top. I really can't turn it to show you the lumps, but there are a couple lumps, and I'm just going to go right directly over them. Then stop and pick it up. Make sure you're not like lifting. You have to be really careful because this is burning. Pretend this is like boiling hot and you don't want to get burned. Okay, so now I got all of those, and I'm just see it starting to turn a little bit creamier. That's what we want. I'm not going to do any time lapse in this, so you guys can really see how long it takes. Oops, I pulled it out of the wall. What you're looking for is a trace. So see how this is dripping down? You want it to make like if you're making a cake, how it swooshes over the top. That's what we're looking for. Isn't that color beautiful? This bar turns out, because of the lard, it turns out like white. You can add essential oils or anything that you like to this. I'm just doing it plain like this for now. it out again. Really heavy duty glass. Make sure you don't do this if you don't have something because it would start spinning around. Your hands are Here we go. It's starting to get its thickness going on now. It's cake batter. Oh wait, I think for these bubbles, I gotta get these bubbles to go down a little bit so you can see. I have a light trace now. A lot of times you'll see the soap makers and they will have it at a light trace about where it is right now. This is the perfect time. Yeah, my daughter's gonna lift it up. This is the perfect time now. Can you see the top of this? And then it's really getting kind of thick, but it's not like making a line over it like that. This is like a light trace right now. See how when it plops, it kind of stays on the surface a little bit? That's like a light trace. So that's when you would want to add your essential oils, powders, anything like that. We do all natural soap. We do not add any micas, any oxides, any chemical dyes or anything like that. Everything's natural. Yeah, we got it here. So here is a trace. Tip it up more. And hold on. Like this. There we go. So you see the top here. I'm going to pull this up and see how it just kind of made a line over. And it made that line over. See, like cake batter. How it made that line over. That's a full trace. So if you see any recipes that call for a full trace, that's what it would be. It would be meaning that that line came over. So I'm going to take this off. Do I have? Oh, this is the screw. And the screw on. I'm going to take this off. And now we're going to flip you around and pour it into our molds. So right here we have silicone molds. Yep, right there. So right here we have silicone molds. We do all different type of molding. Silicone molds work great, especially if you're newer. I usually start in one of the first ones till I can understand and feel the control of that I'm going to have. If you drop a little, just use a napkin and wipe it off. No big deal. So beautiful. I don't know why to me soap is so exciting. I guess I kind of think in a way like this time of year especially that the pioneers used to do the same thing. They used to make soap in the fall, usually over an open kettle outside. And I don't know, there's something just beautiful growing your own things, whether it's growing your own fruit and vegetables or making your own soap or whatever it might be. It's so neat that the Lord provides in that way. Or that's how I feel. They have fancy molds and plain molds or whatever you like. I tend to use these plain ones here for our cleaning type bars because then I know which ones are cleaning bars without having to like, oh, did I have something in here? Or did I have, questioning myself if these are cleaning bars. And then it's easier to tell the kids, hey, can you go get me some of the bars? We put them someplace different, but, just to make sure. So I usually scrape the edges a little bit. Don't have to be perfect because it's just going to go into soap anyway. And any tidbits that's there, you can always save to make remilled soap. So what I do is that, and then with the silicone, I kind of shake it out like this. And then what we'll do is we'll take these, we'll put them on the counter. I don't want them on the table because my kids are going to be at the table. I will take a small cans of corn and I will have them next to each of them. So it makes almost 4 corners around there. And then I'll take a Rubbermaid tote top, put it on, and then I'll be putting either towels or a blanket over the top of that. I'll take a picture and I'll drop it in here. So I am going to go and do that. I'll get the picture for you guys and I will try to upload this video, but be sure to stay tuned for part 2 because we'll be talking about infusing oils and we will be making the soaps that will fit in here. For our body, we're going to be making grapefruit, calendula, and orange today. All goat's milk soaps. So see us in part 2. Thanks. Bye.